Hey guys, I am getting ready for the show. So I am on air, but you know what? I've got to get my headset on. This is not my day to fix my hair in front of you guys, but you know you're family. So this is what I do. We're starting the show today. We're going to talk about braids. This is a big deal, this braid situation, because so many people use it as a summer do. So y'all get to go behind the scenes with me as I am starting the show. Let's get my headset on. There we go. Woo! Yeah. There we go. It's almost like I don't have enough mascara on, but I know I do. Okay, let's see here. Yep. It should come up on your phone because I'm live now, actually. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna talk about Nisi just a little bit.
Oh,
not too bad.
Wait. They have to see what they
see. Today is Beyonce's birthday, so this is our celebrity. Yeah, our celebrity news that we're gonna talk about. But Nisi's always got to do it her way, and so she stays in trouble. Because she's got to do it her way, guys. You know how it goes. We're going to go on live in just a minute. You see I have my girl track button. I love my hair and Women for Hillary.
trick.
Girl track. What did I say, track? Okay, girl track. Thank you for correcting me, Nisi. Still doesn't get you off the hook. But it's okay.
I didn't do it on purpose.
Oh, you never do. You never do. But you know what? Her hair underneath there is really gorgeous. But I'll tell you guys what she's done wrong in just a minute. So we're starting. This is Lisa Akbari. As you know, I'm your hair doctor. And we are here live in the WDI studios. And we're going on live on air in just a moment. We have a phone call, Mark. Do you want to try to grab that? Because it's probably... No, don't worry. Okay. All right. Yeah. So, here we go. I just wanted to make sure because, I've been having some technical difficulties. So, guys, as we get ready, here we go. As we get ready for the show, I think I need to touch up my lipstick. You guys, I'm telling you, you guys get to hear all the behind the scenes as we go in live for Ask the Hair Doctor. And today we're going to talk about braids, and you get to hear that before we actually go on air. But we have about a minute, and then we'll be on live. Okay. But like I said, I think I do need to freshen up my lipstick. Let's see. Here we are. You're listening to WDIA. I know you don't want to see that, but here I am. Thank you guys for being my family and loving me this way. Here we go. Yeah, we need help, and help is here. Okay. What to do? Well, I'm here. You need the hair doctor.
No, she is a hair doctor. Oh, I get it. She's a hair doctor. Trichologist Lisa Akbari.
Hello. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. We are live in the WDI studio here at iHeart Radio. All right. And I'm here. The hair doctor is here. So we're going to start the show today. I am so incredibly excited about the show. I think that I've just got so much going on. As you can see, all of my buttons. I've got my Girl Trick button that Nisi corrected me. I said Girl Track, but it's Girl Trick. And I did go online and sign up. Okay, I have my Fitbit on. And Nisi sponsored me, but she's still in a little bit of trouble today. But we'll talk about that in a second. I have my I Love My Hair button because I love my hair. I do. And I have my Women for Hillary because I am a Hillary girl. Just got to tell you. All right, so we're getting close to that election, but this is not about election. This is about your hair. And we're going to open our phone lines today. Our number is 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. And I'm super excited about the show today because we're going to talk about something that many of you really use this tool or this style during the summer, and sometimes you use it, as y'all call it, a protective style. You also use this style just to kind of cover up damaged hair. But we're going to talk about this today, and that style is braids. Yeah, braids. Braids. How can we wear braids? The questions I have: how do you wear them? How do you wear them and wear them safely? Will they help to grow your hair? All of these questions and more. Our phone lines will be open at 901-535-9342. Matter of fact, they're already open. So if you have a question for me about braids or whatever you'd like to talk to as it relates to your hair or scalp, please give me a call. Also, I'm going to open our chat room and make sure that we are chatting here, just so those of you who are out there in cyberspace and you want to ask a question. I see you guys logging in. You can do so by chatting there, and I'll just continue to look back for your chat. Very good. So again, like I said, I'm excited about the show. Last week's show, we talked about choosing a hairstylist. And I talked to you guys a little bit about our salons and what we offer, but really one of the big things is being assertive. Staying assertive, never aggressive, because that's insulting, and never passive or passive aggressive, because passive is bad as well, because that means you're not going to say anything, and then you're going to turn around and you're going to be upset, and you go home and you say, oh, these are things that happen with my hair, and I just didn't say anything about it, and you'll be mad at yourself. So that's not what you want. Aggressive is just rude, and we talked about that. You want to just talk to your stylist. You want to speak to her. I call it in truth and love. You want to assert yourself. Be assertive into your situation with your hair. And we're talking a lot about that with my cyber reading on my book, Every Woman's Guide to Beautiful Hair. We started chapter 1 on last Thursday. Finally. Oh my goodness, it was wonderful. And we talked a lot about being assertive. But we're going to go on and go to our phone lines before we get started on our topic today about braids, because we have a caller. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Hello there. Welcome to the show. Do you have a question for me? I guess not. Okay, sometimes they're looking for Mr. Mark. We all know that because he's coming on after me. So no, everyone out there in radio land, it's not time for Mark. It's time to talk about hair. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to talk about it. So braids, let's see. Braids is a style option. Braids is a great option, but it is a low maintenance, not zero maintenance style. And that's one of the things we've got to keep in mind, that braids, it's not a zero maintenance style. It's a low maintenance style. Now, let's talk about some of the pros and cons to wearing braids. What are the good things about it? And what's some of the things that could go wrong? And we don't want to say bad things, just some of the things that could go wrong. Okay? All right. So, number one, let's start with the things that could go wrong. When you wear braids, as I said, braids are low maintenance, not zero maintenance. So, some of the things that we do, many of the patients that come into my World Trichology Institute, they'll have braids, they'll wear them, and then they'll say, okay, wait a minute. I now have braids, so I don't have to do anything to my hair. So when you wear braids and you don't do anything, in other words, you don't shampoo it, you might stick a little bit of what you call braid spray on there or something to keep them a little neat, but you don't shampoo, you don't condition them, you don't. And then what happens you end up with dry, weak hair. So when you take your braids down, then you end up with a problem with your hair breaking, because I've had patients to say, my hair broke once I took it down. I thought it was going to get longer. Sometimes you have hair that's long, long and appears to be really healthy. It's long, it looks full, and then the hair is weak. Let's go back to our phone lines and see what you have to say. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Hi there. How are you today? Turn your radio down. That way you don't get that echo. Okay, go ahead. What's your question? Mm, yes, ma'am. Okay. Well, first, I just want to thank God for your life and the life that you're living, that you are a walking miracle. Survivor. Praise the Lord for that. So, yeah, and you do understand what happened with your hair with breast cancer, with the chemo and the radiation, how that the function of the follicle was altered because of that medication. So when that happened, you lost the ability to even produce a hair. So when you started to grow that hair back, then your hair grew back small. It started over as if baby hair. So in other words, it started out with what we call a villus type hair, and that's just lacking color. It's thin, and then it'll go into its true texture. It's been how many years? 3 years. So you have to couple that with the way you take care of your hair and scalp. Those things are very important as well. So all of that will determine just how full your hair will be. One, you want to make sure that you've given it 2 to 3 years. Your hair should begin to grow back at true texture, meaning the true size of the strand. Once that true texture starts to come in, then it will start to get its true type, which is the shape of the strand. So it'll get kinky, or it'll have, sometimes it never goes back to the tight kinkiness that it should go back to. So what happens? Sure, sure. Okay. Okay, that's what I wanted to know. Okay, so what happens? Your scalp becomes really polluted during the time the chemotherapy is being administered by dead skin cells, because the scalp becomes very dry. Then when you start to regrow the hair, things like gel or other styling aids, you have to be careful to go with things that are not so dense and so drying. So I understand that you want to pull it back and maybe lay it down or control that curl, but you don't need to use gel. Okay, you need to use something that is going to, like I would recommend, if you have a wave pattern to your hair, a dense moisturizer. There's a moisturizer I would recommend called Naturally Textured. Are you okay? Are you ever online? Are you online? Can you go online? Or you, okay, well, you can call my institute on Tuesday. Now, you know, tomorrow's a holiday, so we won't be open, but you can call. Let me give you the number. You ready? It's 901-380-4445. Okay, and then you ask for Nicole, Nicole or whoever answers the phone, and they should be able to help you. And this is what you want. You can use our Moisture Plus moisturizer, or yes, Moisture Plus, or our natural texture. It's naturally textured. Textured, yeah, yeah. You can get it from our Hair Nutrition Center. It's excuse me, You can get it from our World Trichology Institute, and that's over on Sycamore View, or they can mail it to your home. So you don't have to go and get it. And what that will do is lay your hair down without the gel. That's going to be the first thing. The second thing you want to think about is how often you're cleaning. You want to make sure you're shampooing at least twice a week. Yes, ma'am. And you want to condition the hair. Make sure you condition the hair. They have all of those things. They have the shampoo there, the conditioner, and you'll have your naturally textured and a product called Hair Vitamin. I'm going to recommend all of those for you. Keep in mind, if you keep a clean, acidic, stimulated, hydrated environment on your scalp, if keep a hydrated and strong environment on your hair, then you should have hair that's growing in as it should. With that being said, as long as the follicle is not malfunctioning internally, your hair is growing, it's just thin in that one area. Okay, so as long as, does it itch in that area? Does it itch? Does it itch? Okay, it doesn't. It's good. But if the problem is persistent after you taking better care of your scalp and hair, then you need to come in and let me look at it under the microscope. Ask for a hair analysis. And what I'll do is view it under the microscope. We'll see if there's some other type of follicular damage. And that way we can determine if we can help you or you need to see a different practitioner. Okay, so okay, you are so welcome. I want you to keep me posted now. Let them know what's going on. Call me back on the show and let me know how you're doing. Okay, you're welcome. Thank you for calling Ask the Hair Doctor. You too. Okay, bye-bye. All right, guys, that was great because, ladies, they, when you go through this process, and I think this is a blessing that she's here to tell us about her hair and her scalp and all the things that's going on after the chemotherapy was administered and after being a breast cancer survivor. Praise the Lord. We have to keep in mind what happens with the hair. It's a pretty traumatic situation that occurs with the scalp when the chemotherapy is administered. So you have to take care of your scalp. You have to take care of your hair. Once the follicle begins to come, and it will start to function as it should. The chemotherapy is a temporary problem, lack of a better way to put it. And it causes, in other words, it fixes one problem, but it stops in other areas like a follicle from functioning because of the rapidly dividing cells that are needed to produce the hair. So with that, you just have to, once the hair starts to regrow, you just have to take really good care of your scalp and your hair strand and be ready once that follicle functions as it should again, so that you can, and it makes a difference. It sometimes you think about it, it makes no sense, but it makes a major difference in how that hair emerges from the mouth of the follicle. You can have a follicle, and I've said this before, with internal follicular problems, and the way the follicle malfunctions during chemotherapy is an internal follicular problem. With that, when your follicle recovers from that internal follicular problem, then the mouth of the follicle will have to be open and clean so that that hair can properly emerge. So while we're not blaming or downplaying the fact that the follicle is going to or just dismissing the fact that the follicle is going to malfunction, we also have to think of the mouth of the follicle and how that hair emerges. So thank you so much for that call, and please keep me posted on how you are doing. So back to braids. Now, we talked about braids as being a low maintenance, not zero maintenance style. Our phone lines are still open at 901-535-9342. And first, we were talking about the negatives on this. When you wear braids, you have to make sure that you're taking care of your braids. You have to make sure that you clean your scalp. You have to make sure that your hair is conditioned, just like you would if you were not wearing the braids. If you don't, what happens, dust, dirt, and debris all categories of pollutants will get trapped along the base of the braids, right the hair that's close to the scalp. It can cause itching, dryness. It can cause sores because sometimes it'll be so itchy you scratch. Tenderness because of the pulling of the braids if you are not taking care of your scalp. So you need to shampoo your hair, then conditioning your hair while you're wearing braids. You need to condition your hair. And there's a technique, and I'm going to go through that really quick for you. If you don't condition your hair, you will take the hair down, as I said earlier. It may be longer hair, and some people report that the hair is not longer. But if it's longer, it may look fuller, but it will not be of the optimum condition or health that it could be if you took better care of it. So this is what you do. If you're wearing braids, you need to make sure that you have a braid program or regimen. Now, to make it easy, you can go to my website, lisaakbari.com, and you can find our braid program. But let me give you some steps on how to take care of your braids. Number one, you want to shampoo inside of 7 days. I would say every 3 to 7 days, and that's my basic rule for shampooing. Number two, you want to condition one of those times during the week, quick fix, and one time deep condition. So this is how you do it. You're getting in the shower, you're rinsing your hair, you're focusing in the parts between the braids. So if you have crochet braids or whatever you have, you're going to lift the hair, and you're going to, or what are some of the other ones, box braids or flat braids or micro braids or whatever. Lift those parts, get the force of that water between your braids against your scalp. Then run the water down, warm as you can stand it, but don't burn your scalp, down the braids. Let's go to our phone lines, and we'll get back to how to care for our braids in just a second. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Yes. Hi, Phyllis. Okay. Yep. Right. That's typical. Mm-hmm. Oh, wow. That's so cool. Oh, okay, super. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. Great. I'll tell you why that happened, but go ahead. I love the testimony. Mm-hmm. Okay, a couple of things. First, thank you for this question, because this is what I was saying about the braids. It's it's low maintenance, not zero. But let's start with the why your hair felt dry initially. Our system is designed to clarify your hair so that everything about treating your hair will actually work. So you will have high quality hair, and not that hair that under the braids where it seemed longer, but it wasn't really healthy. You just didn't have healthy hair. You had longer hair, but it wasn't healthy. So what happens when you first use our system, if you have been using a lot of conditioning shampoos or doing no poo or not shampooing that often, the clarifier doesn't strip. It just puts the hair at a pure natural state. Stripping removes natural and unnatural. Our clarifier only removes what's unnatural. So your hair gets to its state of health. So what happened, it revealed just how dry your hair naturally was. So once you condition, the conditioner is going to balance that delicate protein and moisture level. So it's working to repair. It's working to give you strength and hydration. And so it takes a period of time sometimes, depending on how how dry and how weak the hair is. And then once it starts to make that turn, which good for you that you allowed that process. Once it's starting to make that turn, which is what's happening now, it is going to, your hair is going to get stronger and you're going to start to obtain length. Now, why did you have to cut those ends? Let me tell you. What happened, those hairs will begin to do something we call create web, and then they'll create these stress points. So the hairs will ball up on the ends, the weaker hair. And what happens with that hair, what you have to do with that hair is when you put your conditioner, so you don't have to cut them, keep cutting them. They're just weak. They don't have to be destroyed, or you don't have to cut them, but because they get so locked, then you feel you have to. So to avoid that, when you're shampooing, make sure that you are not shampooing with your hands on top of your hair. You have to shampoo with your hands underneath your hair against your scalp. And let me explain. And then the hair on the, and if you get to go online, you'll see me making this motion with my hair with the hands on. Go to the crown of your head and slide your fingers straight down your strands. And that way you keep your strands from tangling, because these are weak strands, the ends. So once you do that, you have rinsed and you're still going in that same motion, taking your strands, hands going down the strands. And then once you towel blot those ends, and you can do this even in the shower, keep the towel right there. And then you take your conditioner and you press them in those ends first. Because what you've got to do is the oldest, weakest hair, which is always going to be the hair middle ways and down, is going to have the most treatment, because it's been through the most. It's the oldest, weakest. It's been through more shampoos, more conditioning, more braids, more detangling, more everything. So that's what you want to do. And every step of the product, you focus on the ends, because when you do that, you will have less, you'll be able to keep more of your hair, because hair is just dead keratinized cells. When people tell you cut away the dead ends, all the hair is dead. So you can repair. You can't take hair that's fallen on the floor and put it back, but you can truly repair your hair. And you can keep most of your hair, even though you were under the braids and you didn't take care of it because you didn't know to do that or how to do it. You can take care of your hair. So that's what I want you to do. Send me an email and request this questionnaire. I'm going to ask you a few questions about your hair in this questionnaire. Send that back to me. And what I'll do is I'll send you back a program. And I know you have our braid program. I'll send you back not braid program. Which program did you purchase, or did you just purchase product? Okay. Well, I'll send you some information. Remind me of our conversation, and then what I'll do is send you a little snagit video, and we'll talk, because that way I can hold your hand through this process. Since you were so wonderful to take the challenge, reveal your dry hair, and keep going. I am so incredibly impressed with this, because some people just give up. They don't take the challenge. They don't keep going. They don't, and you did. So I'm going to hold your hand through this, and you will you think you have a testimony now on how it's feeling better. You're going to say, oh, my hair is longer, and I thought you're going to love it. Okay. I have so much fun. To God be the glory. I have so much fun on those videos. Make sure you have subscribed to my page, right? Okay, super. So you'll always know when I'm on. All right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. What's your name? Phyllis. That's right. You said that. Thanks, Phyllis. I'll look for that email. All right. Bye-bye. Bye. See, this is great, because guys, braids, this is exactly what I said braids will do. Braids will give you length. Braids will even give you that false view of full hair, but you're not going to have healthy hair if you don't deep condition your hair and if you don't clean your scalp, because you're going to have that setback. And I promise you, and it's so frustrating for a lot of ladies. So thank you, Phyllis, for that testimony, because you don't know how much you blessed a lot of ladies who are wondering what's going on with my hair. So I'm going to hold Phyllis' hand through her process of getting her hair healthy again. And any of you guys that call in today, I'm going to definitely be there for you, because braids are great. It's a great style, but it's not zero maintenance. It's low maintenance. So back to the shampoo. What we're going to do is, when we're shampooing, we're going to take our fingers after we've done our rinsing. We're going to take our fingers with our shampoo on our hands, and we're going to slide our fingers between the parts. Then we're going to slide down the strand, and then we're going to rinse. Make sure we focus in between the parts and down the actual strand and that braid rather. And then we're going to make sure we towel blot and we're ready for our conditioner. So we're going to go back to our phone lines, and then we're going to talk about how to condition. Okay, hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? I'm well. How are you? Who is this? Hi, Rose. Okay. 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 Absolutely, Rose. What we do, I am a trichologist, so I don't do the hair, but I have a salon just by demand. I have a small salon in my institute because I work with a ton of stylists, and I really don't want to compete with stylists. But I have a small salon in my institute where you can get what we call wellness treatments. So you call in, and I'll give you the number, 901-380-4445. Schedule an appointment for a consultation and wellness. And what they will do is assign you to one of our stylists. We have 3 stylists, like I said, a small salon in our institute. And our focus is on hair and hair regrowth, but we do have that there because some people really need baby steps into entering back into regular salons. So we will hold your hand through that process. But anyway, so once you go in, they will ask you about your hair. They'll talk to you about your hair, products like ours that you've been using, those kinds of things. So they'll help you with all of that. And then what we'll do is from there, we will get you a wellness treatment. And let me explain what that is. Wellness, well, my hair may not, I'm not sure if I need to see a trichologist. I may just need a good program. I need to learn about my hair, what to do at home. If I have a stylist, how to work with my stylist, or if not, I need to know how, I need someone to take care of my hair. With that being said, we start with my signature deep tissue massage. Every one of my stylists have to be trained on that signature deep tissue massage, and we use our clarifier. Then we go back and we do our signature deep conditioning with our plussing technique. So that allows you to have your hair balance protein and moisture, strengthen and soften. Then we have our wellness leave-in products. Those leave-in products will give you a cooling rinse for your scalp, a hydrating rinse for your hair, and a moisture boost for your hair. Then you get a wellness style. So you should call, ask for a consultation, and they'll get you taken care of. Okay. You're welcome. Thank you so much for calling into the show. Okay, bye-bye. And I just want to make sure that number is 901-380-4445. And we're closed tomorrow because it's the holiday, but we will be open on Tuesday. Hi there, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Hi, Anita. Okay, Anita.
Tell Lisa to mess up.
But Anita, while you're on the phone, this is a good time to get Niecy, because let me tell you what she's done today. You know, Niecy's always in trouble. She's going to come over to the screen as humble with her hands folded. Okay, you know, she had the wig on without her protector. Now, today is Beyonce's birthday, everybody. So we have to say happy birthday to Beyonce. And, and I know, and Niecy has her tam on because she's looking like Beyonce today, okay?
Well, the girls, the dance.
Yes, and
formation.
And formation, you know, from the video Formation. Well, Niecy doesn't have a turban under that tam, and that tam is sweater, knit, all kinds of rough stuff for her hair. But so what Niecy told me is that she just laid it on her hair. She didn't, I don't know what she called, laying it, putting it up. What Anita said. Oh, what Anita? Oh, what Anita said? Anita said we're gonna tie you down and give you a good whipping with a bull whip. I'm telling you, that may be the only thing that's gonna work. See, Mark is her buddy, so he may be on her side, but Lisa know better than this, because Lisa's hair has gotten so pretty and full and healthy, but she just got to do. She's just got to push the pencil. She's getting very bad. So pray for Anita. Okay. You too. All right. Bye-bye. All right. So I had to get Nisa. I told her she didn't think I was going to get her, but I had to, because we've got to keep that hair healthy. You guys do not know. Nisa has grown from, I know when I started working on her hair, it might have been 1.5 inches, maybe 2 inches. Now she's got 6, 7, 8 inches of hair. She's done very well in a short time. So we've got to keep her hair on her head. So when I'm fussing at her, you guys got to understand where I'm coming from. Okay, so we want to talk about, our phone lines are still open. Thank you guys so much today. The show is going really well. We've got about 30 minutes left on the air. Our number is 901-535-9342. That's 935-9342. And thank you, Anita, for checking in, because Anita is she's just weekly with us checking in. And you know, guys, I'm still struggling here with this headset in my hair. But so I'm going to push that up like that. So y'all tell me what y'all think about that. I'm not able to get to my chat, Nisi, so you're going to have to tell me what question we have going on. Okay, it's one. For some reason, I'm not able to. So here you go, guys. What do y'all think about that? Is that pretty cool? Okay, it makes my hair look shorter and different. And so my headset is showing. Okay, so we were talking about conditioning braids. So how do we condition and just stay safe with it? The way we condition our braids, and how do we condition it and get it to our hair? This is why you want to towel blot after you rinsed your shampoo off, and then you're going to take your conditioner, put it directly on top of the braids, and squeeze into the braid where your hair, you know your hair is positioned at the base, and then go down the braid. Now, you're going to do that, let it sit for 60 seconds, then you're going to rinse it off. That's one time. The next time, at the end of the week, you want to do a deep conditioning. Okay, so we have one. Okay, it says me and a man talking about God. So you don't. Okay, it says, okay, hello, the subject today's braids, and the other question. Okay, that's you. Is it recent? Okay, it said I recently began to use your products and waiting to see if my hair behaves. That's one. So that's it. That was a question. Okay, a comment. Okay, cool. Okay, guys. So yeah. All right. Well, great. So if you have any questions, that chat, if you have any questions about any of the products or anything, any questions about your hair or what's best for your hair, then just email me, lisa@lisaakbari.com. Okay. So once you have done the quick fix, which is what I just described, that means your 60-second condition, your one application of shampooing with the techniques I mentioned. Then you want to once a week at least do deep conditioning. This is going to help you. And if you're just tuning in, this is going to help you with wearing your braids and having long, healthy hair. Not just long hair, but long, healthy hair. Hair that will stay now and for years to come. Go through its natural shedding process, but not just thin out. Okay, that's crucial. Deep conditioning. Once you put the conditioner on, squeezing it into the braids, then you want to put a plastic cap on, sit under the dryer. When you sit under the dryer, you want to sit under there for at least 20 minutes. Now, you can do this two ways. One, you can sit on the dryer for 20 minutes and rinse it off, or you can sit under for 10 minutes, take the plastic cap off, look at your hair, your braids, see if the areas close to your scalp or where you know your natural hair is underneath has kind of absorbed the conditioner. And if it has, then you want to reapply that conditioner on those same areas. That's going to give you that conditioner, pulling that conditioner deeper into your hair. because that's giving you a true deep conditioning. So you're applying it once, then you're letting it absorb, then you're reapplying it and let it absorb, and maybe one additional time. Sometimes you need 3 times. And that's what that's saying is your hair needs more conditioning, and it's going into the hair shaft. So that's important. Once you've done that, then you're ready to rinse. Now you're sitting under a warm dryer with this plastic cap. You're ready to rinse your hair. Once you rinse your hair, then you're ready to towel blot it and put your leave-in products on. Now, your leave-in products are what's going to make your hair look neat besides the clean and condition. Your hair is going to look neat. You're not going to have all those flakes around the base of your braids. You're not going to itch. You're not going to beat your head walking around beating your braids because you got an itchy scalp. None of that will happen. So what you want to do is you're going to spray on, we have a leave-in conditioner called Hair Vitamin. Spray that on each braid. Go where your hair close to the scalp. Then you're going and go down the braid where you know your hair is. Then you want to moisturize where you know your hair is and down to the hair close to the scalp. And then you want to oil between the parts and down the braids where you know your hair is. Then you want to tie all of that down. Let it dry natural. Now, if you know you have heavy locks or heavy tons of braids, then and heavier braids, thicker hair with your braids, then you want to sit under the dryer, cool dry for 10 minutes, warm dry for 10 minutes, and then tie it down. That's going to let everything seal back in your natural hair, plus that treated hair that you have. You know, we use that extended hair. It's going to make it look neat. So it's not only are you going to have clean, conditioned hair, a healthier scalp, you're also going to have neater looking braids. We have a braid program on my website. You can go to my online store, lisaakbari.com, and it's LISAAKBARI.com. And you can get our braid program. Email me if you have any challenges. Just like with Phyllis earlier, I'm going to hold her hand because she's going to need just a little help with this, but I'm going to be right there for her, and I will be there for you. Okay, so what are the positives to braids? Some of the positive things with wearing braids is number one, it takes away the style problem. Sometimes busy people have a style issue. That means they don't know what to do with their hair because they're too busy to style it. So then you get a lot of abuse, a lot of neglect, quick curling iron, a lot of brushing in gel, things like that, things that you shouldn't be doing. So braids will help as a low maintenance style, but it's still not zero. So that's a positive. Braids can help in obtaining length, but you have to follow a braid program if you want to keep the length. Also, you need to be careful braids with your hairline. With wearing braids, you can have a full head of hair, but you need to be careful not to braid the hairline. And keep in mind, when you're having your hair braided, your braidtician, you need to speak with them and stay assertive. Remember, we talked about that. Choose someone who specializes in braids, looking at get their portfolio, look at some of their braids. All of their clients have no hairline. That's not the person you want to braid your hair. Okay? Many patients who come in to see me have problems with hairlines that have been pulled away. It's called traction alopecia or traction breakage. That's a pulling of the hairline. Many of them have that problem and they've lost their hairline. Sometimes it can be lost permanently. So keep that in mind. Our phone lines are open. You can call me if you have a question about braids. We're talking about braids today and how to care for them, the pros and cons. Is it healthy? What can we do to help ourselves? Can we wear our braids? Can we just have this wonderful low maintenance, not zero maintenance style? The phone lines are open at 901-535-9342, waiting for your call and to answer your question. So now it's really important to keep this in mind. When you wear braids and choosing a braid technician, make sure that you tell your braid technician that you do not want your braids tight. Keep in mind, many braid technicians believe the tighter the braid, the longer it will last, the longer it will hold. That is not necessarily true. You want your braid tight to the braid, not to the scalp. So tight to the hair, not to the scalp. Now, what do I mean by that? You want to make sure that that braid does not pull your skin. You want to make sure that that braid is secure to the hair. Now, how is that possible? That's possible because when they braid, they need to put their finger against the hair close to the scalp, and then they need to push a little bit of space. In other words, give a little bit of hair loose there, and then braid tight down on top of the hair. Let's go back to our phone lines. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. Do you have a question for me? Okay. Uh-huh. And you want to know what can you do to help that grow back? Yeah, and let me just say this. There are products out there will claim to grow your hair. Nothing will grow your hair other than a follicle that's functioning. The reason why we lose our hairline here, you can't put anything on top of your hair to grow it, but you can create an environment so the hair will emerge from the follicle. So what I'm going to do is we'll hang up and I'll answer your question, okay? Okay, so you can hear. Okay, all right, so this is an outstanding question. She wanted to know, she has a hairline that she's lost. She wants to know, how can she get that hair to grow back? She's tried all kinds of products. She named a few of them that were supposed to help her hair grow back, but none of it has worked. And for the reason I just stated, you can't put anything on top of your hair to make your hair grow. What you can do on top of your scalp, what you can do is two things. One, you've got to look at the external follicular issues, and sometimes it's traction, as I said, a pulling of that hairline. Sometimes it's friction, a rubbing of the hairline. Something as simple as wearing a bonnet can rub the hairline and cause a problem. And it's really common to wear a bonnet. Many people do that. So there's small things. A lot of times it's crossing T's and dotting I's. Remember, your hairline here, the hair, that's the smallest hair on the head. The hairline here has the smallest follicle, as I said, producing the smallest hair, and it's the follicular units, which is the pore that holds the follicle, and each follicle holds one hair. Those follicular units may only have one follicle or two follicles there. The hair in the body of your head will have 1, 2, 3, 4. Never one. Generally, there's going to be 3 or more follicles within that unit, which will have 3 or more hairs. So you have less density. It's not as dense as the hair on through your body of your head. So when you lose a hair, one's pulled away or rubbed away, then it's going to show up a lot faster. So be careful. So what you got to do is protect and preserve that hairline. Never pull it with braids. Anytime they're braiding your hair, all that hairline hair should be part away. And then you should lie it down with the moisturizer after your braids are completed. Pull it back and tie it down, and it'll blend with your braids. Believe me, I know it seems impossible. Don't let them pick up your hairline here. Second, do not wear anything that rubs the hairline, because as I said, that'll cause friction. And every night, if you have hair there, but it's really short and broken, you want to use a leave-in conditioner, like I mentioned our hair vitamin earlier. You want to use a moisturizer. I mentioned our Moisture Plus, and take your forefinger and thumb, grab those short hairs and slide down that hairline. And eventually that hair is going to get longer and longer. Now, if it's bald, then we need to take a microscopic view of that skin to see if you've lost the follicle, there's scar tissue there, or if there's just villus hairs across there. It may be an internal issue. So a dermatologist or endocrinologist or your gynecologist, someone will be able to do the proper examinations to determine if you have female pattern baldness, if you're a man, male pattern baldness, some genetically linked alopecia, which is an internal follicular alopecia. It could be one of the two. But a trichologist, the beauty of seeing your examining your own hair, looking at it, determining that there's a problem, speaking to your stylist, then you and your stylist start connecting with the trichologist, such as myself, so that we can determine what category of hair loss it's stemming from. Because if it's an external follicular problem and you're doing all these things that'll help with an internal follicular problem, then it's not going to grow back. If it's an internal follicular problem and you're doing things that help with an external follicular problem, it's not going to grow back. So the first thing we need to do is differentiate what's external, what's internal. We need to determine what is external, what is here that can be treated by a trichologist, and what needs to be treated by your medical doctor. Okay? All right, so that's crucial. But try those things, assuming that there's some small short hairs there, and see if we can help with that hair emerging. Okay, do we have another chat, niece? Okay, she's going to check for me. Our phone lines are open at 901-535-9342. That's 901-535-9342. You know, you guys, we spoke a little bit about braids a little bit on our show. Braids are just really popular. Many of the ladies will wear braids when they're swimming, they're on vacation. They, like I said, as a protective style. We have just different reasons why they're wearing braids. But keep in mind, braids are low maintenance and not zero maintenance. Okay. All right. So let's see.
No chats.
Okay, Nisi says no chats. Okay, no worries. We've got about 10 more minutes before the show is over. And you guys, we've had some great phone calls. Thank you so much for our phone calls. I just want to tell you a little bit about what we do as we relate to working with stylists and your braid technician. I just don't want you to think today's show is about saying you can't wear braids. I mean, Phyllis mentioned how she tried braids and how her hair was breaking and it was thinning and she was having these problems. That is typical. But I want you to wear your braids. I think that we feel more imprisoned when we can't wear styles that we want to wear. We're scared of styles. I don't want this show to be about you being afraid of braids. I don't want this to be your takeaway. Braids, I think it's a wonderful expression, and I think it's a wonderful way to a low maintenance style, but it's just going to be crucial how you take care of it. How long should you keep? This is one of the questions that I have. How long can I keep my braids in before it starts to damage my hair? Well, number one, you want to take your braids, should only keep them in 6 to 12 weeks, depending on the braid. 6 to 12 weeks. And you must take your braids out within that time, because and I say 6 to 12, we can push it to 8. But you must take them out. When you do take them out, you want to make sure that you use a leave-in conditioner.
8 to 12.
It's 8 to 12. Yeah, sorry, I said 6 to 12. 8 to 12. You leave in conditioner as you're taking them down. Don't just pull and rake and brush them down. You soften that hair up. And if you've been following a braid program, your braids will come down easily and you will have less hair coming out. You'll just have your natural shedding and you won't have all of this. I've seen ladies with just big piles of hair when they take their braids down. And everyone says that's shedding. And a large percentage of that is breakage. So you want to spray your leave-in conditioner on. A hair vitamin would be a good one. and just really soak it with it and then take them down. If you have hair that's prone to tangles, I have a product called Hydrating Detangling Souffle that I would recommend as well. And I've been mentioning my product a whole lot more today than normal, but with braids, you have to be very specific with your care, and you have to do that with all of your styles, but braids, that's a sensitive situation. And I know that sometimes, and this is why I even developed a hair product, because for many years I didn't have a hair product. I developed one because I knew that the patients that I serve, the clients and the customers, they needed something extra that I knew I could guarantee would work. So that's why, if those of you are wondering why is she pushing a product, that's my reason. So if you do that, then you're not going to have hair that comes out while you're taking your braids down. So you'll be fine. Let's go to our phone lines. We have a couple of lines going. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Initial analysis. Well, if you're coming in to see me, or are you speaking of our going in to have a consultation with a stylist? Okay, if you're having problems with thinning or chronic scalp problems, then yes, I would be the one. The initial analysis is $69, and that's a microscopic and physical examination of your hair and scalp. Okay, all right, thank you. You're welcome. You're welcome. Bye. I have an outreach institute, and those of you, we had some other calls there, so guys, sorry those lines dropped. So if you want to call back, I'll try to get you in before the show ends. I have an outreach institute, and I try to, I know analysis, if you go into any clinic across the country for hair and scalp analysis, generally the prices range from $125 to $250, but I do try and reach out to the community. I'm on a mission to educate, especially, I know, women, and especially women of color. I want, and I'm a trichologist, I'm a professional, so I work with hair from Asian straight to African kinky and everything in between. But I have a special place with women of color because I feel like we spend, I know statistics show this, and that we spend more money on hair products than women in any other race, and we tend to have more hair problems. And I think that's just not fair. That's wrong. So I spend a lot of my research time looking at our hair. And I'm a sister. I have kinky hair. I mean, I've watched women go through these problems, and I'm really, really, really passionate about it. So you're going to hear me say a lot of things to women of color for that reason, but I can treat any hair type. But I try to make the prices so low, and I know it seems, oh, expensive, but comparatively speaking, I make them low so that I can make sure that people who may or may not be able to afford it still can. And we do everything we can to reach out into the community and help out. I just wanted to say that. And no one has said or complained, but I just wanted to say that. Okay, so like I said, someone called in and they had a question, but I wasn't able to get to your call. You're welcome to call back. We have about 5 minutes or so left on the show today. So let's just recap. We know that braids are low maintenance and not zero. We know that braids, you can shampoo your hair, and you need to shampoo it from anywhere from 3 to 7 days. We know that you can keep your braids in from 8 to 12 weeks. We know that we know how to dress our hair for bed with our braids. We've talked about that. We've talked about the hairline, traction and friction with braiding. We have all of that. So basically, those are the things we want to look at. You want to be in close communication with your braid technician, and you want to make sure that you talk to her or talk to him about your hair and some of the things that will concern you. So if you do that, then you're not going to have any problems with wearing your braids, and you will be really, really pleased with your braids and the results of them. I was trying to talk a little bit about some of the things the other things that happen in our institute. I want to tell you guys another thing that we've done since we have a little time, and we We may have a call here. We do. Let's go to our phone lines. Hi, and welcome to Ask the Hair Doctor. You have a question for me? Yes, ma'am. Yeah, you want to turn your radio down. That way you don't get that feedback. Okay, very good. What's your question? I'm well, thank you. How are you today? Well, clipping the ends is kind of a contradiction. You wanted to know if you've never had long hair, if you clip your ends, will that grow your hair? No, it will not. Clipping your ends will actually shorten your hair. Basically, to answer your question, you can have long hair even though you've had short hair, because our hair, the average strand, is going to grow to a length of, at least in the lifespan of that strand, at least 12 inches, 12 to 24 inches. So you can have at least 12 inches of hair, even if you can't, or you think you have slow growing hair. The problem is the strand. You have to get the strand healthy and strong. And that means daily maintenance. So once you do that, then you're not going to have any problems with your hair getting longer. So we have a program called Get the Length. Email me at lisa@lisaakbari.com, or you can call our institute at 901-380-4445, and we can help you with that, getting on a gift list. You're welcome. Thank you for calling. Bye-bye. Okay, yeah, you can have long hair. You don't have to worry about that. One of the things I wanted to say, with our Get the Length program, you can have the desired length. Believe me when I tell you, you can do that. And we've helped so many ladies who thought they couldn't, quote unquote, grow their hair. Nisi, the back, I think you had that center area in the back of your head you thought wouldn't ever grow. And then the crown. So now she has long hair.
I got, is this?
Yeah,
now,
her sides.
But you grew
and her crown. Yeah. And her sides, if we can keep Nisi off that front hairline negatively, I think that front hairline can get longer too. Next week, we're going to talk about texturizers. Yeah, we're going to talk about texturizers and that quote unquote. Remember back in the day, Jerry curl, guys? Oh, I remember Jerry curls. You remember Jerry curls, Nisi? Mark? Yeah. That was the thing. And we thought that grew our hair too. But we're going to talk about that next week. In our institute, I wanted to say we have a school now. And one of the things we do there is we're trying to teach our stylists before they get into the field, so that'll help them. So we're doing a lot of things, and Mark's telling me I have a minute left, a lot of things in our institute. But this has been a great show, guys. I thank you so much. I love you guys. To God be the glory in Jesus. I'm going to see you next week where we're going to talk about texturizers and Jerry curls. So thank you for tuning in. I love you. I'll see you next week right here on Ask the Hair Doctor.
Can't stop listening to my Stanberry. Just can't stop listening to my Stanberry.
Mark, you got a new song.
Every Sunday, Friday, you won't stop listening to my Stanberry.
He's over there pacing the floor. I know he got some good criticism from me. No, he's just analyzing the show. Oh, yeah. Not bad, but he listens. He's listening today for sure.
Well, you know,
There you go, Mark. Thank you, Mark.
you can add some tips.
Oh, yeah, girl. Yeah, good. Thank you. See, I wasn't that hard on you.
Here's my advice for 6th grade. At the beginning,
Honey,
you might be nervous.
we're done.
By the
Can you
end,
come help
be
me?
like,
Yeah.
yay!
Yeah.
Have fun and just roll with it.
Thank you.
You'll make lots of mistakes
Me
along
and
the
this
way,
back.
but don't worry about it. You get to learn from your mistakes.
Oh, shoot,
That's
I
what
gotta
erasers are
stop.
for.
Guys, I forgot to turn you guys off. Oh my goodness. Love you guys. Mwah. See you next. We'll see you Thursday on our cyber reading. There's Nisi. She's not gonna get in
6th grade is
trouble.
a lot of
Happy
fun.
birthday. Happy birthday, Beyonce. Yeah, we didn't talk enough about that, did we? Okay, see you guys next week. We'll see you Thursday on cyber reading, and then I'll see you next week.
And it's a
when we talk
spot
about
surgery meteorologist, and that goes for the
Bye.
rest of the evening. Party.